Okay, well, welcome and thank you very much for coming along. Cherished Pets is all about supporting the human-animal bond. We love our pets, we love our dogs, they're our best companions, but we need to make sure that when we're on the beach with our dog, that we're looking out for the rest of the community as well. It is a privilege, not a right, to use the dog beach. It isn't actually a dog beach, it's still a community beach for the rest of the community, plus other animals and things that live on the beach. Now, I'd just like to share a story with you that happened to my son. When he was 6 years old, we used to back onto an oval. And in the summer, they'd have the sprinklers on the oval and we'd run out and we'd play under the sprinklers, and it was great fun. But this particular day, he was running around under the sprinkler and I saw this golden retriever on the other side, and the owner was chatting to somebody and the dog started running toward us and it knocked my son over. And he fell onto the actual sprinkler and his tooth went through his lip. So I picked him up, he was crying, and I'm yelling out to the lady to call her dog, and she slowly ambled across and I got my son up. The dog came running across again, knocked him over, and he was lying on the oval. And the dog's on his back going, I want to play. And I'm yelling at the lady and she's going, it's okay, my dog's friendly. The dog was friendly, but it was too friendly. And it was tearing gouges out of my son's back. His back was bleeding, his tooth was bleeding, he's screaming. And she goes, my dog's only playing. And I said, but have a look at my son. Your dog's drawn blood, he's crying. And she said, oh, but my dog's friendly. And she walked off. No sorry, no nothing. Now, my son's 22. And to this day, the physical scars have gone, but the psychological scars are still there. And if we've got dogs, he loves dogs, but if he sees a golden retriever, you see the colour drain out of his face and he's looking for an exit route. So even though that dog was friendly and it was only playing, he's scarred for the rest of his life. So we need to be mindful that there are people that don't like dogs, there's people that are fearful of dogs, and dogs that are fearful of other dogs coming up to them. So we need to listen to our dog. Our dogs tell us how they're feeling, but we're really poor at understanding what they tell us. They have a non-verbal communication, but they will show us. If they're fearful, they start to cower. They lick their lips a lot. Their eyes look down, their ears go back. Learn what your dog's trying to tell you. They can be happy, sad, nervous, fearful, angry. So we need to understand how our dogs are feeling and make sure that we respect our dogs as well. Now, a happy dog's an easy dog to read because the ears are up, they'll be wagging their tail, they get into the play bow. An angry or unhappy dog's an easy dog to read as well. But the ones most likely to bite are our worried and fearful dogs. And our dogs who are fearful don't want someone running up to them. They don't want another dog running up to them. So they have a right to be on the beach and feel safe as well. Now, I'd like you to turn around to the person sitting next to you and put your face right in the dog's face, or right in their face, sorry. Sorry. Just put your face, turn around, put your face close to the person sitting next to you. And someone you don't know, not your husband. Okay. Now, just the thought of that's daunting enough, isn't it? But the way you felt then is the same way the dog feels if you put your face in their face or if another dog puts their face in the dog's face. Not everybody wants to be close and personal with the dog, and not every other dog wants that. So don't let your dogs rush up to people. Don't let them rush up to wildlife. Now, I've got 2 Dalmatians that are so focused on food, it's not funny. I can't let them off. After 2 pufferfish, 1 each, and $1,500 each at the vet because of the poisons in the pufferfish, I don't let my dogs off because they can't be trusted. And our Spoodle, she's done 2 cruciates. If I let her off, she does the crazy poodle thing and she'll do her legs again. Can't afford another cruciate surgery. But I walk with my dogs on the lead, but quite often I'll be walking on the beach where they're meant to be on the lead, and dogs will rush at me. But I've trained mine and they'll sit and wait and we'll suss the dog out. But ask an owner before you meet and greet with another dog. I always kids should ask an owner first, as should we if we want to pat a dog, but we should ask another dog owner if our dog can say hello, because not every dog's friendly and not every dog wants to say hello. Teach your dog to return when it's called, so we need to have effective control of our dogs and make sure we have good recall. And if you don't, which I don't with my dogs once they smell dead fish, have a long line if you want them to have a bit of a run. And use that leash if you can't guarantee your effective recall. And you can always seek help from a qualified dog trainer to learn how to train your dogs to come when called and do the right thing. So the way you felt before when I asked you to look at one another, that's the way some dogs feel if a dog comes up and looks in their face. Your dog might be friendly, but the dog they go up to may not be friendly. So we need to make sure that we respect the other dogs that are on the beach as well as the humans. Keep your dog safe by making sure all collars, leads, harnesses are fitted correctly, and also make sure you replace them every now and then, because the beach does tend to rust things and wear the leads quite easily. And make sure your dog has its registration tag and ID on it. Make sure that microchips are up to date. If you move house, you need to make sure that you've got your microchip and your registrations all up to date. And keep a watch out for hazards, because there are pufferfish on the beach, snakes, poisonous baits. And I know with the little jellyfish that are coming up, their stingers are in the sand. So even though you just see the little blue bottle part, the stingers are in the sand, because my Dalmatian stood on one the other day and I had to carry her home. Because she's a sook. She had her legs tucked into my pants and her paws wrapped around my shoulder, and I had to walk her with 2 other dogs on the lead, mind you. Give wildlife plenty of space. They have a right to survive and be able to have their babies safe, and pick up and dispose of dog poo. Put it in the bag and put it in a bin, because there's nothing worse, especially on the beach with no shoes on and it squelches through your toes. Oh, disgusting. So it is a privilege to have dogs on the beach, and we have a duty of care for other beach users and also other animals that live in the community with us. So responsible pet owners respect the community, and these poor little birds do have a right to survive. How many actually were fledglings this year?
They haven't fledged yet.
Oh, they haven't fledged yet.
Last year there was none.
Yeah. So, none of the chicks that hatched last year survived. That's really sad. And we want to make sure that everyone in our coastal environment is safe. And even in the dunes, there's some beautiful plant life that can't revegetate if the dogs are running around in the dunes and crushing it. So it's not just our animals and wildlife, it's our flora and fauna as well. So we've got to love where we live. We live in paradise. It's fantastic where we live. And there's my dog on the beach, and look at that beautiful sunset. So thank you very much. And we have a stand over there where we've got some information and things on body language of dogs. So please don't hesitate to come and speak to us. Thank you very much, everybody.